Hey guys, a couple of you mentioned wanting to see a state of my collection, as it stands at the moment. So this is it. This is the collection as at the moment. Minus one watch. I've got a Rolex GMT, the two-tone, it's like metal and gold. That's in service at the moment. So there's one missing right now. So yeah, here it is. I'd actually just got my straps out as well because I was going to try and few different combos on the different NATOs and stuff like that. I get my straps from Crown and Buckle. Well, not all of them, but like Crown and Buckle, I would recommend. They're really good. They're for decent quality and they're not like too expensive. So my most recent was I got this yesterday. This was a complete impulse purchase. I've wanted a date just for a while, and just because it's like sometimes I feel there's like when you collect vintage Rolex, there's almost some that like you kind of just should have at some stage. So I wanted to get a date just, and a collector, sorry, not a collector, a dealer who I know, analogshift.com. His name's James. He's one of my friends, and he's very trustworthy, good guy. And so he had a few new pieces come in, and so he had a few date justs, and he sent this off to get serviced at Central Watch, which is in Grand Central Station. Hodinkee did a video of them. I don't know if you guys read Hodinkee, but they did a video of them a while back. And they were also, that was the guy in the CNN video that I posted as well, the second half of that video. So yeah, so it's from 1966, which was like a selling point for me, Football Connection. And yeah, and it had just been serviced by Central Watch, who were like one of the best in my opinion. So it was I just thought I'd go for it. So it's kind of cool. I woke up yesterday morning not expecting to have a new watch, and then got this. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think it looks really nice. Second here, second most recent is the Daytona. This is a 6265 Rolex Daytona, big red they call it because the red Daytona. This is all original. Everything about it is original. Apart from I think the pushers might be a service pusher. That line around the kind of circumference of the pusher is that means it's like second generation or something. But like it's not the kind of thing that it doesn't matter. But that's the only slight thing I think might have been changed. Yeah, this is probably like the most kind of like I don't like using the word important because that word is always used in watch circles, but this is probably like the most noteworthy watch in my collection. This was the one that was mentioned in that CNN video that I posted actually. So I've had a little while. I like it a lot. I mean, I probably won't have it this time next year just because it's great, but the demand for it outweighs how much I actually like it. Like it's a great watch and I wear it fairly often. But it wouldn't be one that if I had to throw away everything, but if I could only keep one watch, it wouldn't be this. So I would imagine within some point within next year, I'll move it on. It's kind of a big, it's taking my collection off balance a little bit. Like I used to have a quite good range. You've seen before I had FP Jour and I've had Royal Oaks and stuff like that. And having a watch like this just it's kind of a lot of watch, for one collection, and it just means that now I've got almost exclusively like vintage sports Rolex. So I'd rather be able to move this on and get a couple more watches to replace it, different styles. So not to talk down on it, it's a great watch, but it's not one that really speaks to me as much as I thought it would. This is the Submariner 5513. I did a whole video on this before. This was my first vintage watch, my first Rolex. So I bought that. Got this a few years ago. It's like a late run 5513, so it's like mid 80s, 85, I think, 86 maybe. So because it's got if you look, it's got like the domed, it's got the acrylic, you've got the plastic, but with the applied hour markers, which means it's kind of a later run, like the kind of latest 5513. Again, all original, everything. As a collector who I know who's like a very, very serious watch collector, and he once said to me, he was always like, oh, make sure you always get the best. There's always a good deal that will come along, but like if you really want to watch in the vintage market, wait until you get the best you can get. So I think I did that with this 5513. It's like so complete and so good. Which leads me on to this one, which, despite just saying that, this is one that was kind of not an impulse buy, but it's a watch that I don't know much about. It's a GMT, which obviously I know a lot about GMTs, but I bought this a few years ago, and because I wanted a Pepsi GMT, and it just looks great. But I don't have paperwork, I don't have a box, anything like that, which is normally what I go for. I mean, it's all fine, it's all present and correct. I think the hands might have been replaced at some stage because they're not the same color as the hour markers. They're not as discolored. The dial is known as a radial dial, which means the hour markers are smaller and they're kind of further in from the outside of the dial. Unfortunately, that's not one of those points that makes it worth lots of money. Which, in vintage Rolex, sometimes it'll be the most minor thing, and that means it's worth 100 grand. But this is one of those things that it's kind of rare, but no one really cares about it. But I love this. This is my most worn watch. I wear this almost every day. I've got it set, if you can see, on the bezel, the 5 AM is set to 12, which means, so it's set to London time. Which is one of the few complications beyond just time and date that I actually use. So yeah, I love this one. This was when I mentioned earlier about if I could only keep one watch, this would probably be it. Pepsi GMT. I think this is from like 78, something like that. Moving on, I've got Seamaster DeVille. I love this one too. This is almost, it's crazy, but this is from 1968. So it was given to this guy Jay Ranella, who worked at Maclet, which was, I think they made X-ray machines or something. And 1968 he was given it. So 25-year service watch, when companies would do that kind of thing. And it's crazy to think that it's as old as it is. As far as I know, it was never worn. He got it, didn't wear watches, and it's just completely untouched. I've got everything with this. The strap isn't the original strap. I've got the original strap, but it's a bit too kind of thin and effeminate, a bit too old-fashioned for me, so I put it on this crown buckle strap. But I put it on NATO's as well, and it just looks really good. Very versatile. I think this is a great watch for the vintage market. For someone wanting to get into the vintage market. Sorry, I'm just moving it away because I've just got back from a run. I'm wearing like a neon yellow shirt, and it keeps reflecting on the watch. I think Omega is a great thing for entry level for someone wanting to get into the vintage market, because they're quite common, so you can get them serviced, you can get parts, all that kind of stuff. You still have to be careful about what you buy, but they're just, they're affordable and just a great watch. This is small by modern standards, but I mean, it's a classic watch. I really like this a lot. So I'm just going to put it off to the side because I can't put it back in the thing with only one hand. This is a watch that I made. This is I did some time zone watchmaking course thing, and it was like you buy the movement and the case and hands, whatever you want, and it's a manual wound ETA movement, and you take it apart and learn how the movement works and put it back together again and stuff like that. So I never really wear it, but it's just nice to have. This is a chronograph from the 1940s. It's Postala. As far as I can tell, Postala weren't they were a clockmaker. They weren't a watch company, and as far as I can tell, they were kind of defunct by the 40s. So, from what I can understand, I think companies in those days would sometimes buy fairly generic Swiss watches and would put a brand on there. So I think maybe a company in the US bought the Postala name, imported watches, stamped it on there just to give it some sort of history, give it some kind of official sounding, not official, but some sort of name with some sort of provenance, and then sold them like that. So yeah, it's really cool. Not particularly collectible or anything, but I just think it looks really nice. It still runs well. I love this. I think I got this off timezone.com, like in their sales corner. I just saw it and thought, well, it looks really good. yeah, so I wear this occasionally, really enjoy it. This is probably my most worn. This and the GMT are the watches I wear the most. This is the Big Pilot IWC. I love this watch. This is the second one I've owned because I had one and then I did like a part trade when I got an FP Journe, and then within about 3 months realised that the FP Journe was kind of not, as much as I love them, maybe I'll get one when I'm older. Yeah, and it didn't really fit my style at the moment. So I sold the FP Journe and then I bought another. Big Pilot. When I first got into like I've always been into watches since I was a kid, but when I was able to get a good mechanical watch, I got the IWC Pilot chronograph, and at the time, this was what I really wanted, but it was one of those, it was like a dream. I was like, oh, I'll never get one of those. So I think it's still just got that kind of place occupies that part of my brain where I still, it was one of the first watches I really kind of lusted after and thought, well, I'd love that. So yeah, this and the GMT are my kind of two daily wearers. I've got this on a different strap at the moment, just changes up the look a little bit. So yeah, I'll put that down there. Swatch System 51. I remember when this came out, someone on the forum, I kind of said I really liked it. A couple of people said they didn't really see what the fuss was about. I just think it's really cool. It's an automatic mechanical watch that for like $150 was like factory made. It's really comfortable, really nice. I love this. I mean, when these came out, like I've got friends who are like collect Pateks and stuff like that, and they were all going crazy for it. I think I really enjoy this. I think it's a nice watch, and I wear it. I actually wear it quite frequently. I've had watches that far kind of more valuable or important or whatever you want to call it, that I wear less than this. I really enjoy it. I'll put that to the side. And then finally, I've got the Seiko Orange Monster. Seiko to me are a fantastic brand. Obviously they don't get the respect they deserve, just because most people, when they think of Seiko, they think like a digital watch. They think of when they don't realise like the history behind the brand. When you think something like this is a $300-400 watch, and you're getting a movement made by Seiko, so it's in-house. It's built like a tank. I changed the bracelet. Sometimes Seiko's designs aren't really to my taste, so I put this mesh bracelet on it to give it that kind of diver look. I've never been diving in my life, and I have no intention of going diving. I'm not really an outdoorsy kind of guy, but I love this. I wear this in the summer quite a lot. Again, like similar to how I was saying, the Omega is a good watch to get into the vintage market. Whenever I have friends who say, hey, I want to get a mechanical watch, but I don't want to spend too much, or I want to get something, I always say Seiko, because they're a great brand. So that was it. That's the state of my collection. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it wasn't too boring for you. Hey, awooga.